Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to be sharing a little piece of what the nature growers have been working on this year and how it connects to this thing called constructivism and as well as PBL. And I'm also going to be talking about our community a little bit. So let me start off by answering the question that you're all probably asking, or some of you maybe. What is constructivism? Um, Other than, well, a very long word, it's an educational theory that is usually in my mind when I'm coming up with a learning experience in the classroom. Constructivism theorizes that knowledge constructed by the learner through collaboration and real world experiences is better understood. So, under this premise, teachers then become facilitators of learning rather than lecturers. Excuse me. So, through constructivism, it's easy to shape a lesson or a unit so that a child can gain their most understanding, keeping in mind that each child develops at different rates. So, through this theory, we as teachers here at TKG can encourage instructional conversations among peers, the use of manipulatives to solve problems, student choice, reflection, and self regulated progress monitoring that focuses on learning. So, what makes constructivism even more valuable to me is that it encourages teachers to take into account previous experiences that the learner has had in order to apply it to that subject matter. So, what I ask myself when I'm creating a new unit is how can we use what these guys already know and how can we link it together to new material to build on it so that more knowledge can come to them and that they can get to this knowledge by working together. I'm going to get to that in a minute here. Sorry. So, along with the idea of shaping a constructivist classroom, you'll see in the video that we're going to show today the use of project-based learning. So, through project-based learning, it's possible to cover a lot of subjects at once, and that's why I like PBL. So, the nature growers had expressed at the beginning of the year that they had a lot of interest in having a garden and harvesting their own vegetables. And then their vision right now is that we're going to have a huge feast once all the vegetables come. So far, we have some radishes, so that's exciting. Now, you may have seen it, it's out in front of the office. This garden, though, is more than just vegetables. It's an opportunity for learning to take place. So, with this project, we've been able to cover a lot of subjects. We've been looking at math by tracking plant growth and through measurement and predicting quantities needed for materials. Writing and reading through analyzing informative reading. That was really difficult, but they got through it, and I'm proud of them for that. Science, introducing the kids to the scientific method as well as the process at which experiments can progress, trial and error, and of course, the idea of success. Social studies, by thinking about what other nations are thriving off of agriculturally around the world, and how it connects us to the rest of the world, agriculture, that is. Perhaps the most important area, though, is the social emotional growth that these students have been able to experience. I'll be the first to admit that the Nature Grower classroom has a lot of bright individuals. Now, when you're an individual, you have a lot of ideas. And the cool thing about being an individual, and I know this because I used to be one, is that as individuals, we think that these ideas are the best ideas in the world. So then it's really hard to accept and incorporate other people's ideas in our product. Why? Well, because we already have the best idea in the world. So the nature growers had a chance to work together. And man, let me tell you, it was very, very, very extremely difficult at first. But I can confidently say that we have made a lot of progress. Now, that's not to say that it was magic and this happened from one day to the next by me simply saying, okay, now go work together as a group. I would be lying if I told you that. I did a lot of scaffolding, not just for this project, but for everything else we do in that classroom. I began by asking them to write individually what they knew about the subject, and then they worked in pairs. Working in pairs comes really easy and really natural to these guys because developmentally, the nature growers are capable of doing so. This is the stage in a human life, the 6 to 8 year olds, where kids begin to identify a best buddy or a best friend. So sharing isn't necessarily a big challenge until you add a third person to the group that's not your best friend. Now, here at TKG, we have a value of letting everyone join a plan. So the work goes from a pair share model to a 3-person group, and then a 4-person group, and then a 5-person group, and then eventually you end up with the whole classroom working together to achieve their desired goal. So I personally see progress not only in the classroom, I see it at the park and in the playground. We have a student, he's very allergic to peanuts. The nature growers one day at the park, at Wilderness Park, saw a peanut shell on the ground. And the individual who found the peanut shell riled up the entire class so that they could all come up with a plan together and execute this to find the student and, in their words, protect their little buddy. Now, I'd like to add that although I've worked a lot with these guys, they don't only learn from me. The kids are always watching and they're always learning. I believe that the nature growers learned from their parents. To spearhead the gardening project, we went to Farmers Market, Home Depot, OC Landfill, and Wilderness Park. This project would have been a lot harder had parents not stepped up. I'm grateful for the community, and I say that with pride because I'm very proud. We as a community came together to make these trips happen and to facilitate learning for the children. Danny helped me put this video together. And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for all you parents that have been a part of this journey. Thank you for being a community and allowing our kids to see what teamwork looks like out in the world. They learned from you guys. Now, I'm not saying by any means that they're perfect, because sharing a scooter board and coming up with a soccer plan out in the playground is still quite a challenge, but it's a little bit of progress. And for me, that's really all I can ask for. I just want progress. And I believe that through our philosophy here at TKG and through the continuing use of constructivism and project-based learning, we can be kinder, we can be better, and we can be the awesome community that I've had a chance to experience this year. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the video that we've put together. Here it is.